It's not on YouTube.
Live link, like the old hotline you would call people to hook up and fuck, to fuck strangers.
Bro, where is it?
You see this box behind me? You see this big present behind me? You see this?
Where can I get the live feed, bro?
Where? Not on Facebook.
I know I'm on YouTube and it's not there.
Oh, it's there because people are here, bro.
I know, but I'm looking for it. I'm trying to jump in so I can comment. What the fuck? Oh,
It exists.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Episode 90.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It happens. People know us. People are here. Christmas time. Y'all ready for this?
I wasn't ready.
And we're back. Episode 90. It's Christmas time. I got this drinking a Stella Artois tonight.
I have got independent brewing out of Central Texas has this Wild Mind Ales series where they're all like sours, but they're smoothie style sours and they are so fucking good. So if you're in the Austin, Texas area, check out Independent Brewing Company with their Wild Mind Ales. Matt, we're doing a fucking Christmas show, baby. I don't know how excited you are. I'm really excited. It's a beautiful day here in Austin, Texas. I got my workout in. I was feeling a little frisky listening to a mix of Chevelle and A Day to Remember today while I was at the gym.
Nobody
Getting
cares.
my workout in. I've got the in-laws here visiting. We've got that festive energy. We're going to have guests over later. I am excited. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We've got Justin James in here. We've got fucking Jordan Tupper. We got Kelly Webb. I don't even know who that is, but he said firsties, and I'm excited for it. Don't be such a Grinch.
First, Justin James up in here. Hey, happy Christmas. Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate today, happy that. I don't know if you've heard this. You know what Cameo is, right? We're going to be on there in 2022, but there was a cameo that Smokey Robinson, the legendary R&B singer, did, and he wished somebody a happy Chanukah.
What is that?
Well, that's what he said. I don't even know what Chanukah is, but I heard you celebrate it, and I wanted to wish you a happy one. It's because he didn't know Hanukkah was spelled with a CH, bro.
Chanukah. Oh, I get it. I thought that was like some Providence in like fucking Canada or some shit. I didn't know Chanukah. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's Hanukkah, bro. He was fucking it up.
Why is your fucking camera quality dog shit right now? What is this?
I don't know. What is he talking about? It must have just been the internet connection because we 1080. Yeah.
Interesting. Man, I'm excited. The end of the year, we have our best of list dropping next week. We're going to be doing a year-end episode officially, right before we ring in the new year. We've got 2022 coming up, and it's been fucking kind of wild, man. Do you have any like standout moments that we would talk about in this kind of episode outside of like favorite music or entertainment or anything like that? What was something good that happened to you this year that you're excited about and hyped on, you know? Yeah. Soak that in.
I don't know.
Soak that kind of journalism in, bitch.
I don't know.
And understand that you have, it's the holiday season. You can't be coming in here with this fucking wah. I don't want to hear it. This isn't a band. You don't have a whammy bar.
You're playing defense against me.
I'm getting in there.
Shun Matt's negativity.
I'm getting in there, son. I'm up in them DMs. What up? Just want to let everybody know. We're here. It's the holidays. So holla at your boy. What up?
All right.
What's something good? Let me hear it. One positive thing out of you. Let's go.
2021. I mean, a bunch of good shit happened to me. This is the last time you're going to see this ugly background. I'll be in a house. That's going to be good. Moving on up. Moving to, what does Ric Flair say? The biggest house on the biggest hill on the biggest side of town. Woo!
On the richest side of town. The biggest house.
The richest side of
on
town.
The biggest hill on the richest side of town. Woo!
Spider-Man movie of the year. A lot of people talking about that. Haven't seen it.
I got all the spoilers. I haven't watched it yet. I'll let that set in. Are you? I know you're probably more into the movies than I am. Are you getting into the new Marvel saga, the metaverse? Or multiverse. Sorry.
There's nothing wrong with Marvel. All their movies are solid. Even the worst one's still a good movie. But man, there's just so many of them. I'll go see Spider-Man at some point, but I'm not eager to go to a theater with Omicron leaking over my shoulder and shit. Like, fuck all that.
You're watching too much media. Am I a douche for thinking that the original first 3 X-Men?
You're a douche.
Number 1, number 2, The Last, and number 3, The Last Stand. Am I a douche for thinking those were good X-Men movies? Am I washed for that?
They weren't, and they're not even canon anymore.
I mean, they're not even official Marvel movies. They're fucking Fox Studios, so they're the worst. But I thought they were good. No,
they're okay, and they did well in the theaters. But the X-Men movies weren't cool until they did that prequel, the first class,
and
that
then
was incredible.
Jennifer but you Lawrence. Have to understand that was still Fox. That wasn't Marvel, right? So you were still getting Fox.
Still, that was
X-Men
still the
movies.
best X-Men movie they executed.
They were good.
Back then.
There was the second one too. They were good, and I like how they crossed. I like how they got Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. I like how they got the old Magneto. You know, I like how they got
the Wolverine story.
Halle Berry as Storm. You know, for Halle Berry back in her peak when she was Storm. You know, being a badass.
They would say Academy Award winning Halle Berry, and it's like, yeah, but she didn't win it for being fucking Storm.
Yeah, exactly, and that was a great role for her.
She won it for Monsters Ball.
Oh,
she won it for Monsters Ball because she.
Yep, that's true. Hey, Nicole Kidman too. Nicole Kidman was in Vanilla Sky getting hopped up on in that secret society that we all know exists.
But Nicole
Illuminati
Kidman didn't win an Academy Award. You got to.
Illuminati, you know what I'm saying? But no, she didn't win an Academy Award, but she, might have peaked maybe after that film because she showed her Tots. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. My point being is Halle Berry released a stinking pile of a doozy this year called fucking Bruised, and it was by far the worst martial arts movie I've seen. And for her to take roles like that, I almost feel like she's the Nick Cage of I don't want to say female actors.
In a fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, is she the? Okay, so hey, have you seen this Nick Cage trailer too for this movie that he's doing? The incredibly
one about pig. The pig one, the truffle pig?
No. That's like supposed to be like a horror movie that's supposed to be pretty funny. But no, this is actually a movie where Nick Cage, so it's called like the far reach of the talented Mr. Cage or something, or the wide range of the talented Mr. Cage or some stupid shit like this. He basically plays himself, and a fan is offering him to come to like Italy or something for his birthday. As a celebration, he would like Nick Cage to be there, and he claims to be his biggest fan. Well, it ends up being the Mandalorian homeboy, whoever the Mandalorian is, that guy. That ends up being his fan.
Pedro?
Yes, and so when Nick Cage shows up to the island to meet this guy, he meets him originally at the pier where the boat's at, or the dock or whatever, and he thinks that it's some like liaison for the rich guy. And he goes, listen, man, I don't know if this dude wants me to fuck his wife or watch me fuck his wife, but I'm not doing it, okay? Those days for me are long gone. This is Nick Cage telling this guy. And then the guy is like, I am such and such. Like, I'm the guy that hired you for this party. And
this movie already sounds terrible, Brian. Like, you're just describing it, and I already want to walk out on the movie and, like, kill whoever took me there.
The point being is they go on this crazy adventure where they actually act out an action movie, and Nick Cage and him get into a bunch of shenanigans. And it's supposed to be Nick Cage actually falling in. See, and it's him living his own movie. They come after him because he's Nick Cage, and he's popular. There's gunfights. He's jumping from building to building. It gets intense because he's Nick Cage. And he takes him on this journey. It's supposed to be pretty dope. It's supposed to be breaking the fourth wall, all while keeping
Omicron Persei 8.
Persei 8?
Omicron Persei 8. It's the planet where those aliens in Futurama come from.
Oh, and they called it Omicron. That's some Illuminati stuff as well.
Yeah, Omicron Persei 8. That's all I think about when I hear that.
Omicron Persei 8. Yep.
Should we talk about news?
Let's get it. I'm excited for this week's news, even though it's Christmas week. We don't get a lot of music. We don't get a lot of tidbits or hot.
Everyone's
gossip.
Out of the office except us because we don't have offices.
Everyone's on their fucking secret island, banging, whoever they're banging.
Children?
Partying it up. Snorting coke. Hopefully not. Hopefully no children.
Merry fucking Christmas. South by So What Fest was announced, and boy, is this a fucking stacked lineup. Before I even rattle off names here, you can clearly see a bunch of big acts. Brian, what did you bring to my attention that we just argued about before the show started?
So we initially were going to both talk about this, and I was under the impression that they were only listing, and neither of us looked at the bottom of the flyer, mind you, but this got dropped a couple days ago. I was under the impression. I was under the impression that they were just listing artists by genre, right? People on Twitter and people all over a bunch of forums were pissed off because this is like a 3-day event, and they were under the impression that they were separated by days, right? Okay, so the yellow, the blue, and the green were days.
Which would make sense.
That does make sense.
Fucking flyer.
Correct.
Zemer.
Correct. Correct. And I agree with that. However, what stood out to me is that the top of it says with performances by, and it doesn't designate dates like you would see on a Coachella or a Hard or a Stagecoach or a Warped Tour comeback, something like that. You would see dates above where the band's names are. So me and Matt log on, and Matt goes, I don't know if I like the dates. I don't know what kind of attention the third date's going to get compared to the first date.
That third day is the most expensive by far. It's all the rappers.
And that was another thing.
That's $1 million day.
People were like, if I buy tickets, can I just get them for one day? I don't want to go to day 3. And that's what the metal community was saying. Well, if we have to buy a 3-day pass, why do we have to go to day 3? Blah, 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 blah. At the bottom of the flyer, it says artists separated by genre, not by day. And people failed to read this, including us.
Hello.
But everybody on the internet lost their shit and failed to read the bottom of it. And there's even another warning with an asterisk towards the bottom that says genre listed something alphabetically, not by date, another asterisk. And it's like, oh shit, this makes sense. They are going to mix it up. They are going to have a little bit of something every single day. And it even specifies that at the bottom of the flyer. Every day will feature every genre.
I just want to go on the record by saying, like, if it was separated by day, I wouldn't really have a problem with it, and it would make more sense, because I don't know, like, looking at the size of the top one, if you're going to limit set times or what, but obviously the most attention, the most money you're paying to pay these artists is going towards all the green artists. Like, I'm not here to discriminate and like poke fun. It's just the way it is. Rap sells more. You're paying 2 Chainz, Ray Sherman, Trippie Redd, Tyga way the fuck more than you're paying I Prevail, Parkway, and the Ghost Inside. It's just a fact. And then the same goes for all the guys in the blue.
Another thing.
If you're gonna separate the rappers into the show and throughout the days, I don't like that. Like, it just seems like you're not gonna have the right crowd, or you're gonna have mixed shit, or you already said, the metal community's complaining about that. If I'm the guy that like only listens to 2 Chainz, there's no way that I've heard of, Word Alive and Veil of Maya and Suicide. Like, probably not going to cross paths with that. It's funky.
Exactly. Not to mention is they do have it. So if you can tell, see how it starts with the I's, the P's, the T's, and then the second tier is
alphabetical.
Alphabetical by tier. So they did their whole weird creative freedom approach to this flyer.
Total sense if this was by day. It's honestly, it's a bad flyer. It's a confusing bad flyer.
It's not, because they give us the warning.
Artist, but
they give us the warning, but they didn't release the flyer with a hey, heads up. Exactly. And they didn't give us a heads up through social media. They didn't give us any type, at least soon enough. They have sense, but they didn't give us any type of warning that this is how the layout was going to be for the flyer, all for the sake of cohesiveness, I guess. Again, questionable. But yeah, you do have each day with a good amount of people that could be headliners. And you're looking at Alexis on Fire as the second tier, Bleeding Through on the third tier, Lorna Shore, Polyphia, Stick to Your Guns, Suicide Silence, all within the 4th, 5th tiers. I mean, this is going to be a stacked fest each day. And I think they're going to have something for everybody. So regardless of how the flyer came out, I still think it's a fucking great event.
There's some big names in the rap world that are in smaller font. Like, one that stood out to me is I saw Stunna for Vegas, and next to it's Travie McCoy. That's the vocalist of Gym Class Heroes. Yeah. And I didn't even know he was playing or doing solo music, but that's cool to me. Yeah, I'm trying to read these other shits. Freddie Dredd, some of these dudes I have just not heard of.
It's a lot of the trap rap, I think. You have who can I point out? Like,
Waka's the type. He did Warp the year I did it in 16. Yeah. He crosses over because of the mosh pit crowd.
And you have Snot being a band.
Trippie Redd's being more of a rock artist. Tyga is like everyone. Ray Sherman is everyone, and 2 Chainz too. But I don't know.
You have Little Nar. You have Little Nar stands out.
World that's like, how's a fan of the orange or blue acts gonna react to like, Rich Dunk?
See, that's where I think the blue acts come in. That's where I think the blue acts come in, because look at who the blue acts are. They're the ones that could kind of pop back and forth. Sum 41, Simple Plan, and Black Bear. 303
Scope Against the Current. They played Warped Tour, and I did not think they were going to be a band after that. Their first tour was in a bus, and my homeboy definitely saw.
Man, that second tier, if we're looking at this, that second tier really, I mean, all the tiers except for the yellow really fall off past the 4th one.
girlfriends.
All of them
Aaron,
really fall off.
Tyler Posey's still around. With Confidence is a good band. Did work with them. Shouts to them.
Like on the bottom of the top tier of the metal acts, we have Upon a Burning Body and Volumes.
That's a rapper, not the new metal band.
Oh, okay. Even more. At least Snot had some sort of like crossover appeal. Look at this. I mean, the Yellows have everybody up in the under the sun for that.
Fire from the Gods, Left to Suffer. Ew, New Year's Day, gross. Traitors, Unity, Volumes, Upon, Spite, Signs of the Swarmians,
Black Dahlia, son.
Yeah.
Stick to Your Guns, Polyphia, Acacia Strain, Lorna Shore, Bleeding Through
Carnifex.
Making a fucking comeback. Hatebreed. You've got fucking Hatebreed on the show.
Fucking solid.
Dude, it's crazy. Let's get it.
Sleeping with Sirens. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great festival.
I was gonna comment on that. If there's one band that's getting booed, it's Sleeping with Sirens. They're the band that does not fit. They're the band that just I see like the fucking that's like the girls and the young teens and the early boppers and whatever you want to call them. If I saw a good
set by them, I'd have no problem being like, that was a good set. That was good.
They played at Disrupt a couple years ago, and I went and saw them, and they were phenomenal.
So over it.
They were phenomenal.
And I don't have anything nice to say about Kellen. Like,
I don't know
the summer I spent around him, like, just not an approachable, nice dude. So whatever.
He was a part of that like weird triad that kind of blew up out of nowhere and then dissipated. But it was him, Matty Mullins, fucking Franz, and another person from maybe. And they all kind of like went back and forth, and the Homeboys and Hands Like Houses, and then they kind of like dissipated, you know. And I met a lot of them like, you know, several times through passing. What up? How are you? But I don't know any of them personally, and I just. You know, the things
Nick
that we
Martin's
heard.
Cool. He'll always be cool because his old band was cool, but like the rest of that band's whatevs.
Fair. What else we got?
What's up with your boys ICP trying to go to Alaska?
I think they're trolling. Honestly. They announced yesterday that they were going to have the Gathering of the Juggalos 2022 take place in Portlock, Alaska. People immediately were like, "Hey,
the skinny one is that Shaggy?"
Yeah, Violent J's the one that made the fucking announcement, by the way. And people are like,
so fucking grumpy.
He does with the fucking face paint. It's the best. So Violent J's the one that made the announcement, and people just immediately were like, "Wow, rehab is not done fair to this man, unfortunately." So, anyways, they announced the 2022 event to be held in Portlock, Alaska. The only issue is Portlock, Alaska is only accessible via biplane or boat. You can't get to Portlock, Alaska by any other way. It's also considered a ghost town because there's less than 100 people, and they don't register to the census designation form or whatever that they do for a census every year because there's so many little people. Are you ready for this? There's been 2 major years in the past 4 decades where they've been on the census for counts. 1980 with a population of 31. 1992 with a population of, you guessed it, 30-fucking-1. So their population doesn't seem to change. Neither does their increase in traffic and or
this is the only real estate listing for Portlock.
It is tough. And so I don't know if they're trolling their fans. They maybe had too many vodka and Fagos. They might just be fucking having a good time and having fun.
Remember
they did announce that they were going to do a European version.
Remember last year we had some Alaskans on the show, and we were pretty convinced that we had just broadcasted 2 murderers because they had beheaded someone. Yeah. They weren't
with Justin. Did we not?
With Justin Case. Yeah, he was out in Alaska. He was one of the murderers, and undoubtedly, dude, they weren't even in fucking Portlock. No one goes to Portlock, dude.
Yeah, it's rough. So ICP, if this is real and you are planning on having a Gathering of the Juggalos, I mean, hey, this really could be something. I think ICP's fan base is a little loose in the nuts, if you know what I mean. And I think that they probably would be the type to go and spend. Apparently, I was reading on like a festival forum, you know, where people are talking about it, and I guess average to get there it costs $7,000. What's that say? The last
frontier inside Alaska's meth epidemic. It makes sense.
I mean, I was reading. Oh no!
I didn't know Portlock had trailer parks.
Yeah, this is just going to be a good time. A good time up in
I'm
Alaska.
sorry. We just
Seven
lost
thousand
40 viewers. If you live in a trailer, my bad.
$7,000 is the average cost it would take you to get up to Portlock via, flying there, travel by boat, by plane, what have you. So I hope it's worth it to everyone who's going to go see their favorite ICP play in 2022.
Hold on, I'm looking up how much meth costs in Alaska. Hold on.
Real quick shout out to our boys in Foxera. I saw them perform last week. They did a fucking phenomenal job. They've played their first couple of shows out here in the Central Texas area. They played here at Empire Control Room and Garage during emo night. They were one of the live acts. There was like 4 or 5 bands. They were one of them. They did phenomenal. It was their very first show ever, which was a big fucking deal. Then they performed in, I believe, Dallas and Houston. They
in
also
Alaska, meth costs $100 to $150 a gram.
Wow.
Yo, shouts to all my fucking
Foxera also played at the Unsilent Night Music Fest that was held up in Houston, I believe.
While we're talking about So What?
Yes.
Unsilent Night. Okay, shouts to Foxera. They're cool. Shouts to Scary Kids. They're cool. That Unsilent Night bill didn't cost them a fucking dime, and it was whack. It was a fairly weak lineup. So if you look at that, there was a lot of people going, I'm not going to it this year. Then they dropped this on you, and it's like, oh, now I get it. That's where all the money went. Unsilent Night's probably not costing them a dime, dude. Like,
well, you have a bunch of crossover acts. All right, you first have Sleeping with Sirens, Grandson. You've got Girlfriends.
What is
You
Grandson?
have
I don't
Unity,
like
Texas.
I tried
You
to.
have Tigress. You have the OG Johnny G. I believe you have. I mean, there's quite a Little Lotus. There's quite a few crossovers that you do have on this.
None that matter.
But think about it. Texas is always a hotbed for shows.
Texas
any
is
time
south.
of the year, right? They're not, California just went back on lockdowns. Like, they're not experiencing any type of restrictions or anything. This just seems like the fucking smart move. You're gonna, and we've come to be accustomed to not having much to look forward to if we're concert goers rather, in December. And we at least have a decent pool of shows to go to, given that, it's the year that people, or the time of the year that people generally spend with their family and, loved ones.
Whatever. Some news that came out this week.
Can someone in the future in the comments keep a tally of Matt's negative reactions? Because I think that we could probably come up with some really weird equation to like the expansion of the universe with the number of times he's negative. I think we could really breach some records with.
I also bet you could shut the fuck up. So we're gonna move in to some news about Eric Clapton.
Yes.
I brought this up to Jordan. He asked us, what are you even doing? I said, all I got so far is to shit on Eric Clapton. He's like, well, damn, I'm always down for that. So here goes nothing. Fuck Mr. Eric Clapton. Okay, great musician. That's not even the point. The reason Eric Clapton sucks is his management team thought it would be a cool idea to sue a poor widow who was selling her dead husband's CD online on eBay for $11. It was a live Eric Clapton CD that she unknowingly was selling, and it was a bootleg. Wasn't even a real version. His management team decided they'd jump in and sue her. She's now forced to pay over $4,000 in court costs. Eric Clapton claims he's not going to collect this from her, but he never stepped in and intervened. And he said this in an interview. He had never said he addressed the woman that he was not going to collect this money. So as far as she knows, she owes over $4,000 to Clapton over a fucking bootleg CD she was selling online for $11 out of her dead husband's collection. So yeah, big fuck you to Mr. Eric Clapton, who's got plenty of money. Hey, hold up. Hey, Siri, how much money is Eric Clapton worth? Let's see. Eric Clapton, widely regarded as one of the most influential and important guitarists of all time. Blah, blah, blah. Date of birth, blah, blah. Record label, Warner Brothers, blah, blah. What is Eric Clapton's net worth? Go find out today. Oh, he's got a son named Connor. Isn't that cute?
No, his son Connor fell out of a fucking window and died. That's what Tears of Heaven's about.
Mm.
You're dumb. Oh my god. Aren't you a music journalist? How do you not know that?
Not for fucking Clapton, bro. Not for fucking Eric Clapton.
I mean, I remember back in like whenever it was October or something, he was in trouble for being like a racist. So I'm not surprised, I guess.
Oh, really? Interesting. What a dickhead. Eric Clapton, net worth. Yeah.
Why are you obsessed with his net worth?
Because I want to see how much this sumbitch is worth to be suing this lady. Has amassed a net worth of $450 million after 6 decades on stage and in recording studios. Suing a woman for selling a bootleg CD of his for $11. What a dick. Shouts to Jordan Tupper, who apparently knew that song was about his dead son, too. Whatever, okay? When I took History of Rock and Roll, we talked about Keith Richards doing drugs. We didn't talk about fucking Eric Clapton's dead son, okay?
That's not factual because I actually did take the music course at COD and you 100% learned about Eric. At least it was brought up and talked about.
Nope, that motherfucker that looked like Mr. Ussery.
More than likely during the psychological like aspect of it.
Look, man, and, like, look, it's creativity. A fact. People get weirded out when kids die, man. It's a fact. It's a fact of life.
Do you know how his kid died?
He fell out a window.
Yeah. Fell out of a 3-story window or 2-story window or some shit.
Yeah, well, reach for the stars, kid.
Boot yourself, sir. Get out of here for...
Nope, not doing that. Nope, I run this bitch today. We already went over ICP. Did we fuck Eric Clapton? I think we fucked him enough. I'd display a picture of his kid if I had one, but I didn't know any of this beforehand. All right, let's get into this. All right, good topic here. All right, no more Eric Clapton. Jay-Z says that nobody can see him in a versus battle. He's got a point because now we can.
I mean, didn't he grow up battling in New York? Wasn't that his thing?
He wasn't so much a battle rapper as like Eminem, and so much he's more of a hustler. But don't get me wrong, Jay's got bars and can freestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was like videos and shit of him like battle rapping.
Before we shout out any potential opponents for him, I want to bring up the numbers game. When we talk about rappers that came up like in the late 90s, early 2000s, before piracy, the numbers are impossible to surpass. Like Jay-Z from Reasonable Doubt to Black Album, multi-time platinum. One-time platinum would have been a disappointment. Every album,
a few artists that can do a volume album like the Blueprint and have each one be good.
Oh, well, that was one thing. But dude, he did volume 1, 2, and 3. Volume 3 is what Big Pimpin's on.
That's
then
what I'm saying. All 3 of them were great.
Blueprint 2. Then and the Blueprint 3 even came out eventually.
Yeah.
Fucking wild. The numbers, like the fact that he went platinum, artists like DMX, all those rappers that had that late 90s Def Jam surge, you can't touch their numbers, okay? So when you bring up artists like Lil Wayne has enough hits where that's going to be an entertaining battle, but I don't want to hear any statistics because none of Wayne's streams
I was thinking Lil Wayne in my head. I was thinking Lil Wayne in my head, not to interrupt, but that's what I went to at first.
Because that's
I'm not even a big Lil Wayne fan.
A lot of people have made that guess, and it would be entertaining, no doubt. Shouts to, I think it's Daniel Jeffries, because he's a big Wayne fan. He's the one always suggesting this shit, blowing up my inbox with the worst Wayne freestyles ever. I don't want to hear it. Fuck Young Money. It would be entertaining for sure. I think someone like DMX would have been great to do it because they had the same era and it could have stacked up. You want to know who? Well, all right. Before I even say it, give me your suggestions. Who do you think is going to be a great opponent for Jay-Z? Lil Wayne? Who else?
I mean, Lil Wayne is who I went to first just because he does have that's an aspect of Lil Wayne I've always been impressed with is his willingness to battle rap people.
You also have to consider, like, when Jay goes up there, you're not just considering Jay-Z hit songs. He's going to go and perform every guest verse he was on. That was a big song. So Young Jeezy Go Crazy, every Rockefeller artist he ever worked with.
I don't know if I don't know if I mean actually after seeing Big Sean's freestyle that he recently did, Big Sean was well, see, these are freestyles. I think of like Big Sean. I think of Mos Def. I think of like guys that are really good at freestyling and going off the cuff, but that doesn't
Versus
necessarily
is
make
not
them
about
battle rappers.
freestyling.
I know, and it's not about necessarily.
It's more about the hit records, hit versus hit.
Yes, and
that's why Wayne is a good opponent. I was trying to think someone equally huge, and
Nas,
I started to.
I think Nas and Jay-Z in a rap battle would be really
Nas would have been
good.
cool. It probably would have been too fucking cordial.
Not
though.
to be no, not well in a battle. It would be currently not to
Nas
be sticky,
is a great
though.
lyricist, but if you're gonna go hit for hit, which is what the versus battles are about, there's no way Nas hits compared to Jay-Z hits. He is outnumbered.
You don't think? I always thought Nas's lines were a little harder.
Doesn't make
I
hit
thought
songs.
Ether,
He makes
Ether
cool songs. He don't make hit songs, and he's not going to perform Ether in front of Jay.
Not for a battle, but I mean that's what you want to see after. I mean, have you ever seen Beef? Like, I feel like that's the whole idea of hip hop summed up in what
Jordan's
it really is. It's about representation.
Busta Rhymes has such a long career that would be entertaining too. The only thing is, there's not much tie-in. There's more tie-in with Wayne and other people.
Am I wrong in saying 50?
50 would be super interesting, but Jay just has such a longer career that he would surpass him, because 50 would just be playing 3 whole albums.
You know who I think actually could probably stand up against Jay? The Game.
The Game would be fun, but I man, and as much as I like The Game and love his albums, I don't think he's got the big enough hits. Here's who I think would be the prime opponent, and it's the one nobody wants to say. It's the one no one wants to admit. R. Kelly.
What does that even mean?
R. Kelly. How
are they battling? R. Kelly doesn't rap.
Because R. Kelly doesn't need to rap. First off, you have the best of both worlds, R. Kelly and Jay-Z, that everyone forgot about. You also have Unfinished Business that everyone forgot about. Okay, so you have collaborations, but the fact that R. Kelly has massive hit songs dating back to the early mid-90s, and he could perform Hotel with Cassidy. He could perform all the hooks he's done. He could perform Go Get It by Jeezy. I mean, he could just do the hooks he's done for other big rappers and move through, because Jay's going to go through and do his guest verses. Like, that would be fire. No one wants to admit it. No one wants to praise R. Kelly, but if he wasn't in trouble, if they could bring him back, that would be a fire versus, because these verses, like we just saw, no one's going to beat Dipset versus the Lox. We just saw a fight at the 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony versus. Okay,
what happened? What happened there?
Busy Bone took offense to some comments, threw a punch, and got ejected. He had to come back and apologize.
Wow. Hey, what about Pusha T? Is Pusha T a bad selection?
Pusha T would be interesting, but he just doesn't have enough songs. Even the Clips records. When you talk about Clips, you're talking about like 3 records.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't go into Mace either. Puffy, I feel like Puff
would be an amazing selection.
I feel like that, Puffy and Mace, but I feel like Puffy's not. No, because I feel like Puffy isn't. When does he ever like really take
doesn't
mean
have
ass shots?
Verses.
He doesn't take mean shots either. He's not vicious.
Versus is not so much about battling. It was when it came to like Lox and Dipset, because they're talking shit in between, but they're also friends.
I mean, actually, Birdman and Homeboy.
They did a Ja Rule Fat Joe one. They were cordial and
the
still
Gucci Mane Jay-Z. The
Gucci Mane and Jeezy was not as cordial. Yeah, no. But they've done E40 and Too Short, where it's like they're not battling, they're just playing hit for hit, and that was great because they have such old records, such long careers. That's why I picked someone like R. Kelly, because you have to disregard all the awful fucking things.
If we're not talking, if we're not talking actual like battling and actually going back and forth, and
I don't think Jay's gonna do it, so this is all fictional. So I might as well say R. Kelly, because he ain't gonna do it either.
Well, what about if we're talking about the opportunity? I mean, if you want to fucking sell money and you want to put on one of the biggest of all time, you do him and Kanye, and then they can do Watch the Throne.
That would be awesome.
They're supposed to do Watch the Throne too. They can fucking release a couple tracks from that, and that's be the killer. But Ego, I don't see that happening. But that'd be the best one if we're talking about how to make the biggest impact.
There was a rumored record back in like 2002, and it never happened, but it seemed always plausible. It was called, I believe the name they had was like Joint Chiefs of Staff, and it was going to be Jay-Z and Dr. Dre. And Jay-Z, when he did the Black album, there was a big, probably like the biggest rumor was that he was going to resume rap under the S. Carter name with Aftermath, and that he was going to release a Jay-Z produced or a Dr. Dre produced album. And it seemed plausible. They've done collaborations before, The Watch, but like, it never happened. It never got close to even being an album. Like, they haven't collaborated in a long ass time either. But if they got together, that would be super interesting versus battle. No one's gonna throw a punch, but I just don't see Jay doing it either way. Like, he's too big. It's too cool.
I mean, you could go East West Coast and get like Snoop.
Snoop would be such a better fit for like he did that battle with Wiz Khalifa, and that was so much better.
Yeah, but that's more of like a West Coast stoner, like that vibe fits. If
Wiz
you really want East Coast rap versus West Coast,
and he might as well be from Cali.
Exactly. If you really want West Coast, East Coast stylings that still could complement, you want to go Jay-Z, Snoop, because they're just the voices of each of them. You know, if you think East Coast, Jay-Z's in top 3, you think West Coast, Snoop's in top. You know, I feel like, I mean, you could maybe do what? I mean, you could do Dr. Dre. I guess you could do Dr. Dre and Jay-Z, and that be West Coast, and that fits a little bit more because Dr. Dre's raps a little bit more along Jay-Z's lines. Yeah, that would probably be the better one.
It'd be fun. None of it's gonna happen. No one's gonna bring R. Kelly.
Hey, big dreaming, baby, big dreaming. You know, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And you know, also just making that bankroll. Oh, we have visitors here in Zen Room Studios, or Middle Earth. We're actually in Middle Earth. Happy holidays to all our listeners, too. I hope you guys are ready for the fucking festivities of Christmas. What's this fucking Christmas show all about? What are we doing? How are we wrapping up?
Besides, like, talking about all this stupid music news, I figured we'd talk about Christmas, and the most important thing about Christmas is obviously the presents. So I figured, like it would be interesting if we talked about, you know, like spoiled white kids, what the best Christmas gifts we got were.
Ever.
Like, because it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, the pack of socks I got last year as an adult. No,
wasn't this already like a question we did in an episode?
I think it was proposed and we never actually got to it.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
It just seemed really materialistic, privileged, and like a dickhead move, so it was right up our alley.
I mean, the countless consoles I've gotten, you know, I got a bike. My fucking sister was born on Christmas. You want to talk about gifts and blessings? Come on. What else do you need?
She stopped being our webmaster.
What else do you need, you know?
What was the first video game console you got for a Christmas?
For a Christmas, the first console I got was PlayStation 2. I had gotten Nintendo 64 when it came out, and then Xbox. I got both of those like on offs, and I just remember I think it might have been because there was a little bit of a gap between the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, and I'd obviously had like N64 before them.
Yeah,
and so the Xbox, you know, everybody had the Xbox, so of course my mom let me get the Xbox. PlayStation came out
in like 1996, I think.
Yeah, 7, I think. Yeah, or for 94. Actually, it was early, bro. It was real early.
I don't know. The first console. So I grew up on my dad's Atari 2600, and it wasn't like the consoles had been out, and being a kid, you're not as in tuned with everything new and shit. And there's not a ton of commercials on TV telling you that there's Sega and Nintendo game consoles, you know? So at the time, you really only saw them in bulk at Toys R Us.
When you got to play them.
Yeah, and Toys R Us, was like you could physically see the games that existed and shit, but like they weren't like a great video game retailer. They overcharged for games, and like, dude, you couldn't return shit. I remember buying like a Back to the Future 3 game, and I had to beg someone to fucking return it to get something else. But I got Sega Genesis for Christmas. It was Sonic 2. That console changed my life because, man, I played that all the way until the PlayStation came out and got that for Christmas.
So the PlayStation was actually released in Japan in 1994 and in the United States, North America, 1995. So that's when the first PlayStation came out. And yeah, Sega was the first one I had. I had a Sega when I first moved out to Palm Springs, and I was like 7 or 8. So that would have been 1993, 94. So 94.
There were so many different Sega consoles. Like I had the Sega Genesis, which was just the go to the store.
Sega Saturn. Sega
There was a
CD.
Sega 32X. Like the Genesis had several versions of it before they got to the Genesis name, but they all played the same cartridges. Like shouts to Aaron Beals, he had the Sega Master System
Where you could stack them.
I don't know if you could stack them, but it was a precursor to the Genesis.
Yeah,
it was bigger.
I remember Sega Saturn and not being disc. Sega Saturn was discs. And that was a trip because we were always used to cartridges, right? With Nintendo and Super Nintendo, Sega, there was always some sort. And the 32X was the first 32-bit console. Sega actually released that. PlayStation, when it coming out in 95, was only 16-bit, I think, originally. And then, of course, Nintendo 64 actually being 64 bits. You got the 3 dimensions. I mean, who can fucking forget Mario 64, man? That game. I remember getting. What was the claymation? The claymation.
Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Yep, Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Who owned that game and whooped my ass at it.
I got Turok, the Turok 2.
Bruh,
and I got
Turok was the coolest idea as a kid, like a first-person shooter, but fucking dinosaurs.
I take that back. I got the 64 package that came with GoldenEye and Turok. My games that I got for Christmas were Clay Fighting.
Raw package, bro. Yeah. I didn't get that one.
Yeah, I got the Clay Fighters 33 and a third, and I also got 1080 for Christmas. And I played me and my buddy Alex Reese. Shout out to Alex Reese. Played 1080 for, I swear to God, 12 hours straight. We came out and our thumbs were blistered because we were trying to do moves. You had to rotate.
Difficult.
And it was that one plastic joystick. There was no rubber tips. Nobody thought about wearing your thumbs out.
You did this.
Yes, no one thought about wearing your thumbs out. It was the first console with the joystick, and you can turn, and the 360, it gave you a whole different feel. It was crazy.
Did you ever hit a 1080? It was so fucking hard.
No, never did. I did get a real...
to spin it literally, 4 times?
Yeah. And it's not just like a spin. You got to go left, right, rotate, left, right, rotate, or some shit. It was fucking stupid.
That was terrible controls.
Yeah, shout outs to my bike, my sister, my fucking basketball court that I got, my... what else did I get for Christmas? I fucking for sure got like dope toys. I
got the PlayStation 1 for Christmas. I want to say 96 was like the year, 96 or 97, because like one of the first games I got was MLB 98, which came out in 97. But the launch title it came with was Battle Arena Toshinden. A awesome fucking fighting game for the time, because not all the fighting games were 3D and like totally 3D and virtual. This one was one of the first games where like Virtua Fighter, where you could fall off the platform and die that way. Nice. And they made a sick ass sequel to it. They had really interesting characters, but that game died immediately. Like no one remembers it. It's more of a Japanese title. I got a 64 after my PlayStation, but because my PlayStation broke sometime after getting Dave Mara Freestyle BMX, still one of the fucking most awesome games ever. But fucking the PlayStation 2, dude, got that, and then SSX. Took forever to get like second titles. Didn't get any handhelds for Christmas, man, because I got the handheld like Pokemon came out, like Game Boy.
I legit had 2 handhelds. I had a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advanced. I stuck with the Game Boy series for a real long time.
And a Game Boy Color. Yep. And a Game Boy Advance SP.
Yep. I had the Color, the regular, and the Advanced. And then my other handheld system I had was my PSP that you stole me from GameStop back in the day. Shout out.
You're welcome. The handheld that I had first, and no one owned this, dude. It took 6 AA batteries. Sega Game Gear. Imagine.
I remember Game Gear.
Okay, so the Game Boy at the time was this big, and it was only green, and it burns your eyes to play for a while, and you couldn't play in the dark. Yeah. Game Gear was full color games. My younger brother had the Sega Game Gear. Dude, this is gonna date me so bad. It was so old, but like you could play Road Rash. You could play like I had a Winter Olympics game, Jurassic Park, Mortal Kombat 2. That was fucking crazy. Didn't even have all the characters from Mortal Kombat, but it was wild. Super old.
Yeah, I remember Sonic Handheld was the name of the Sonic game.
They had
Sonic Gear. It might have been Sonic Gear.
Probably. There was a really difficult Sonic game they made for Game Gear. Oh my god, it was so hard.
That was I think the introduction of the first Sonic and Tails was on the Game Gear, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
Maybe. Dude, Game Gear was just so heavy, and its only advantage was that it was full color.
Well, hey, congratulations to your box of dildos behind you and to your house. You are moving into a house
Finally
officially.
getting a house. Gonna have a better
Congratulations,
setup
man.
than this
That's
shit.
a great feeling for a fucking Christmas present for sure. You know.
Do you want to wrap up and get out of here?
I mean, we can. Whatever. It's I got food and shit
I
waiting for
got
me.
no more news.
I don't either, man.
I could definitely talk about Christmas's past, but it just seems selfish as shit. Speaking of being selfish, one thing I want to stress to everyone is that definitely give thanks, give cheer. It doesn't take any sweat off your ass to donate when you can. Okay, you don't have to give thousands, hundreds, millions. Whatever your income is, you can take a small percentage and donate that shit. There's always people in need, especially during the holidays. I'm trying to make a tradition in my family to do this sort of stuff. Definitely, if we're fortunate. Like I said,
What are you donating to?
we are getting involved with her church and finding people directly that are in need,
Nice.
that need things. We're donating a few items. I'm not doing it to toot my own horn. I'm not doing it for recognition.
No,
I
it
really
feels
don't
good.
even want the recognition or the people to know who it comes from. I don't want them to feel like it's a handout, but you need to get out and do something positive. Okay. There's a lot of shitty stuff going on. Okay. And the holidays are rough for some people. Some people have nothing to give. So, $5, $10, $25, $100, it all goes a long way. It is not difficult to find people in need and donate. You can do the shit online from the seat of your couch if you're that lazy. The church always has people in need. They know exactly how to help. That is the best way to do it. But get out and fucking do something,
And you don't
people.
have to be affiliated with any faith-based organization to do so. You can just do so
It's
out of
about
the
helping. It
kindness
ain't about God. You can do whatever you want.
out of your own hearts, people. I'm surprised to hear that from our show, Matt, because our show can take a little bit of the edge
We
and
do
take a
enough
little bit
hateful
of the,
shit all
you
year
know,
and clown on people that,
no.
we do something good and pay it forward. Whatever you spend is good
I would
karma,
like
and it's
to,
gonna come back.
in the light of seriousness, if we can, I would like to formally ask you, because this is something that I have planned and I've gotten it pretty already well thought out, and I would like to get as much support behind it as I possibly can, for the later part of
I'm
this
not
year.
donating to you.
But you just said what
Yeah, you're
happened to
not
what
in
you?
need.
I'm about to put you in the public spot.
Yeah.
You know, are you ready for it?
All
Are
right,
you
go.
ready? Are you ready? Okay, so next October in our hometown of Palm Springs, California, there is a hike called the Cactus to Clouds hike. It is an 8,000 plus foot hike from the Palm Springs at the bottom of the Palm Springs tram to the top of it. And it is a pretty fucking gnarly one. Our good friend, shout out John Gaylor, him and his father and his brother were airlifted off of that very trail because of how serious it got one time. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, son, it was crazy. So me and a group of people are going to get together and we're going to do the hike, but we're going to do it for a good cause. And I'm actually putting together like a little show fundraiser. I'm hoping to have the guys in He Films the Clouds play. I'm hoping to have some friends and some associates that we know and are friends with in the Southern California area come together and put their names on a banner, and we can donate to any charity. I'm trying to find a good one. I'm searching. I have a couple in mind. Cancer is already always at the top of the list. Addiction. I have both of which have impacted my family in
I
another
always
way.
suggest going local, and the most direct way to help people is always the best, because
We
there's
could.
organizations out there
We
like,
could
and
do something from
I'll
home.
name names and point fingers. Susan G. Komen, I don't think does enough for breast cancer. Breast
There you
cancer
go.
research
There
is
you go.
way different than funding and finding a cure.
That's true.
We
That
know
is
a lot
true.
of diseases they don't want to find cures for because there's more money in the treatment. I don't like Susan G. Komen. I don't think they're straightforward. I also recently, after reading some stuff, if you follow our Twitter, you'll see it. I don't like the Salvation Army. I find
Boom.
that to
That's a
be
big one.
fucking bogus. The fact that those sons of bitches in 1986 tried to fight in New Zealand to keep homosexuality illegal, what a misguided waste of fucking time.
I mean, hey,
What a
you
fucking
can't.
misguided battle.
I personally don't like pointing fingers from decades ago, but I will
I
say
do.
that Salvation Army still has a pretty slanted rap. It's not the best. And if you really want to donate to one that is going to give back and you can actually see it happen in the moment, Goodwill. your local Goodwill is a great place to not only donate things, but also donate too, because they give back to the local communities. And, you know, that's something that fucking proud to hear, man. Both the sponsors on the Common Chaos podcast give back to the communities in some way or another, and I think that that's something that I want to take and echo if I can, because I have a good support team there and I'd like to. And hey, man, if we can throw the I Hate the Scene logo up on there and fucking maybe get you out in California, and maybe we can fucking go and have a fucking good old time at our stomping grounds. Maybe we could sponsor it as well, and we could do a live show. Matt.
Yo, big things coming in 2022. It doesn't take much to donate, people.
We could do a show. Oh, son.
If I can instruct you not to give to Susan G and not to give to Salvation Army, I also want to point out places like Panda Express and Walgreens will ask for a donation to organizations like St. Jude's, which may be a great organization, but the problem with that is that this company is going to take your money and make a tax-free donation in their fucking name, and it's not going to have anything to do with you. You're better off donating your money to someone directly to benefit them, so you know where it went, okay? Because that's the thing about giving, okay? A lot of people aren't comfortable doing it. A lot of people aren't capable of doing it. But when you do, you want to know your money is helping. I don't think it is when you tell Panda, yeah, round it up and donate that money in your name so you look good and fuck me, right? St. Jude's is a great organization. Sick Kids is always a great thing to donate to. I've done shit in my past in middle school to fundraise and help them out. Valentine's Day, you can sign Valentines for the kids that are stuck in the hospital. There's great things you can do. So look out. Make it an online so that we Canadians can donate. Yeah. I mean, shit, we gotta grow some if we're gonna get involved in anything with donations, and I don't want to handle charitable money whatsoever. That can get tied up. Domino's does that shit. I got pizza last night. They said round it up by donating to St. Jude's. Yeah, it's the same problem. St. Jude's is not the issue. They're a great organization. The problem is companies, capitalist corporations like Domino's, Walmart, Panda taking your money and donating it to places in their name to receive tax breaks. That is not fair. That is not in the spirit of giving. That is not what charity is about. But whatever it takes to get billionaires to donate, right? Christmas is coming up, so yeah, definitely. You know, it doesn't take shit to go to a Walmart, a Target, a grocery store. There's an aisle that has like gift cards, prepaid Visa gift cards, prepaid MasterCards, Walmart gift cards, Target gift cards, things for food, all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a Champ Sports gift card or a Nike gift card to families in need, but there are easy things you can do. $25 to a family in need goes a long way. So do something. It's really fucking easy.
My my actual full-time employer, T-Mobile, also donates to Toys for Tots every year. Toys for Tots is a great foundation. You can actually go and donate toys at local Toy for Tot drop-off spots. And the way that they actually present it to the kids is really cool. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of it. They actually normally rent out like a dance hall or some sort of fancy house or mansion, and they take all these kids from foster homes and what have you, organizations, and they bring them here and they feast, man. They give them a shit ton of food. They give them candy, all the fucking works for all these kids that are less fortunate. And then they take them into like a section of wherever they're at, and they let them have at all these toys. And it's really fucking cool, man. You know, seeing the expression on these kids' faces and seeing them actually, you know, get something that's going to mean a lot to them, man. A lot of these kids are young and, you know, don't have a lot. And so that's another good one, Toys for Tots, because that's literally buying a cool little toy and fucking gifting it to a kid,
toys
man.
For children,
they get to have at it. They get to go up and pick, and, you know, they get a couple options, and they're going to pick what they want. You know, you can literally buy anything and donate it.
Children in need, always a great cause.
For sure.
The thing I like you were saying with addiction and addicts, that always hits close to home. Oh man, anyone who knows me knows I have a very close friend. I'm dealing with addiction issues, and I fucking hate it every day. I fucking hate what addiction has done to good people. So that's always a good cause. Always a soft spot for the kids.
Again, no plugs here, but we're doing it. It's the holiday season. If you listen to my podcast, Common Chaos Podcast, this isn't a plug for my shit either. Fight Back CBD. Fight Back CBD is a CBD company that sponsors my show, and they're phenomenal. You guys should check them out. the owner, Justin McClenny, is actually a recovering addict himself, and all the work that he does goes towards getting people help, whether it be yourself or a family member of yours. You can direct them to Justin McClenny and fightbackcbd.com or their Instagram. And he has a bunch of different sponsorships and affiliations that he has. He knows what it's like to go through the journey. He himself, again, is a recovering addict. And a portion of the proceeds for all the products purchased also go to these programs that he's affiliated with. So if it interests you guys, fightbackcbd.com, it goes towards a good cause. Also, the other sponsor for the show, Phoenix Fit, they're a fitness company. They donate a gallon of water for every item purchased through their website to someone in need. There's over 11 million people in the world without access to clean drinking water and irrigation. And this company, which is manufactured and produced all here in the US of A, donates a gallon for every item. You can go in and literally buy 10 items and you get fucking 10 gallons of water donated to someone in need. Both great causes. It's the holiday season. We should always give, not just during the holiday season, but now's a great time because it really emphasizes the meaning and the.
I'm considering people that are always busy, always working, and really, if you're too wrapped up in your own things to ever think about this. That's why we're here to remind you. That's why the holidays should be a reminder to do it. If you can't do it, make it the end of the year. You got a Christmas bonus, do something. Jordan Tupper, you deserve a fucking Common Chaos t-shirt, or at least a payoff from Brian for subscribing. Because you signed up for the last couple episodes were stinkers.
Hey man, they're great. You sign up for my email list and you get a free shirt, Jordan. So definitely do that, and I'll send one your way, buddy.
It's a scam, dude. He's gonna run a credit check on you and ding your credit. He's gonna fucking He's not.
I do ask for a picture of your butthole though.
Shipping fees. Whoa, Kevin Spacey. Shipping fees to Saskatchewan are going to be a motherfucker.
Hey, I'll get you, Jordan. I've delivered to other countries as well. So
I wish I knew Jordan in March 2020 because damn, I was in fucking Prince Albert with nothing to do.
You probably wouldn't have busted your ass on that icy fucking driveway.
It was like 4 days after that I cracked my fucking head open. Yeah, shouts to that. Before we get out of here, we were just being real positive. I got to get back onto the hating aspect, okay? Oh, no. Yeah, let's go ahead and hate on some shit. Big fuck you to Facebook, okay? How did I catch a 30-day ban for this shit? For clown emojis, the poop emoji, and the brain emoji. Didn't even use words and got a 30-day ban for this shit for someone who was being fucking racist.
You're already this is a discussion for another time. Go on. Let's wrap this up.
Besides catching a 30-day ban for posting emojis, I receive this type of bullshit in my messages, okay? So you all know I'm a big wrestling fan. Wednesday nights, AEW Dynamite, there is a transgender wrestler by the name of Nyla Rose. She's dominant. She's awesome. She is a brutal competitor. Any wrestling fan doesn't have a complaint about this way that this woman operates. But someone brought a sign to the show that said, Nyla Rose is this guy's dad. All right, it's not even that funny. But they brought that sign. Nyla saw it, flipped him off, went ahead, did her match. That fan was ejected and the sign was destroyed. I jumped on Twitter to defend Nyla Rose, saying, like, it's 2021 and we still have to deal with this bigoted bullshit. And on top of the public comments I got of people just completely being transphobic and not trying to understand or give equality at all, I received lovely messages like this. Brandon Smith from Alabama tells me trans are mentally ill F-slurs. Have fun defending them, dick sucker. Here's the crazy thing about this, Brian, and this is the only reason I bring this up, not so that people send hateful messages on Facebook to Brandon Smith, not so that they send screenshots like this to Brandon Smith's employer, not so that they show up at his house and harass him, definitely not so you harass him on Facebook, wink, wink, but that you see this awful hate-filled message and you look at his profile picture, him smiling, fat guy, beard, glasses, got a kid, got a wife, smiling. You look at that picture, you think average family. That could be the picture in a picture frame when I go and buy something at Michael's. And here you are being hateful, bigoted, and transphobic in my messages, probably passing these same ideals on to the same kid you're holding in your arms. This type of shit is fucking pathetic. It's not just pathetic and hateful. It tells me that you lack intelligence because it's not fucking hard to give equality Okay, the only people that feel intimidated or slighted are those that are weak-minded. And a call to equality is not a call for more rights than you or for yours to be taken away. It is to have the same fucking chance in life that you do, and you're still here denying it because you refuse to understand what they are going through. I don't understand trans people. I have no idea what they're going through. I have no idea what it goes through in your mind to feel like another sex and want to alter your body. But I know that it's a thing, and I know that someone feels that way, and it's not fucking hard to comprehend. And so people like Brandon Smith piss me off. And so that's who I spend my time bullying and trolling on the internet. Homophobes, transphobes, and especially racist motherfuckers.
Fighting violence with violence, just like the 80s hardcore scene in New York, baby. Let's go. All right, Matt, what do we got in store next week?
Did you hear the story Mikey put out about your head injury? He said you got knocked the fuck out in Burger King. I didn't know it had to do with Burger King, but I know he told several different people a story because when I fell on the ice, I was heavy on Instagram and I posted it to my personal, and I also posted like all the weed and shit, but it says what happened on there. Mikey Sawyer, because we went after him and exposed him as a sexual abuser, just does not like me. He told a lot of lies about me, and he still is to this day. But that's fine. People, transparency
Why does
is
all
my
the best
middle name.
stuff happen at Burger King? BJ's, people getting knocked out. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. All right, what do we got in store next week, baby? What are we doing?
That is his actual picture. All right, so next week is going to be our annual year-end spectacular. We are going to count down our top 5 albums of the year, top 3 EPs of the year, artist of the year, best guest of the year, worst guest of the year. We're going to hand out these awards, and we're going to do our best to get the artist, like former guests, to recognize them, but fat chance, because I'm sure the worst guest is not going to care. So anyways, looking forward to that. We're going to bring Jordan Madro on. He's got a top 5 that's looking fly. It's definitely different than mine, probably more diverse than mine. Mine is not diverse. Yours is probably more diverse than mine, but it's going to be fun. We're going to count down all of that, recap the year of 2021 that was in the world of I Hate the Scene, send us off into the new year with a bang. And then big things coming in 2022. We're going to have some fun shit in January. And while I'm on tour, y'all are going to enjoy these shows. And then you know what? We're going to come out real fucking strong in February and March. And just stay tuned. Yes, fantasy football standings. We have a fantasy football podcast in the works. We're waiting for the season to wrap up. I am not doing well. Thanks a lot, COVID protocols, and the Browns have fucked me royally in the butt with no lube. If Darren Waller just started last week, I swear to God, I could have just...
Okay, well, I hope everybody enjoys their holiday of choice over the next coming days, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic
fucking Foster Moreau with
journey.
goddamn 14 points, and I can't net shit with fucking Giuseppe. He did shit all season. Fucking Miami.
Hope everybody has a great time going into the new year. Gets all
like
their
that
wishes
one
and
fucking Miami
want.
tight end, Randy McMichael. He was like hitting his wife and shit. These fucking Miami tight ends are...
All right, you can always find us at iHateTheScene.com. And before we get into the specifics of where you can find other I Hate the Scene content, you can go ahead. Well, I was going to do mine first, like we know. Okay, thank you, Jamie. You can find me in my personal pages at of Brian of Death on Instagram and of Brian of Death on Twitter. You can find my podcast, which has 2 brand new episodes out, featuring my friend Khalil Kennedy and my other friend Knives Monroe. Go check them out. You can find that at commonchaos.net. The Common Chaos on Instagram, The Common Chaos on Twitter, tweet. And you, as always, you can find my alternative lifestyle page.
Oh, Becca's so mad.
She's literally sitting across from me right now. Over on Grindr.
Over, we're like wrapping up right now.
Over on Grindr. You can find me, Butt Lovin' Bri Boy.
It's live.
This doesn't get any easier.
I mean, I could shoot you an invite, but you literally going to have 1 minute to jump on.
That's just in case, isn't it? He's the only person that would ask if he could jump on. No, I'm out of here. I got to go. I got to eat. You got to boot me. You got to boot me or deny Justin.
All right, you can catch me on Instagram at I Hate the Scene, Twitter at Scene Radio. Catch us every motherfucking Friday night, Switch.tv, I Hate the Scene, Facebook.com/I Hate the Scene, YouTube.com/I Hate the Scene. My children are fucking hungry, broke, blah, blah, blah. Find all these links at more iHateTheScene.com. We also have a sick link tree at Instagram. You can find all that shit. And you know what, dude? We've worked hard all year. You know what? I'm gonna tear open this box. I got 13 dildos in here waiting for me. It's gonna be a fly night. All right. So shouts to that. Probably no more 6ix9ine updates. That dude's fucking done. You know, we no more Kanye updates. Donda. I haven't even listened to it since the release day. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I'm hoping I get a kiss.
Christmas Kwanzaa.
Yep, I'm hoping I get a kiss under the camel toe and we get to fucking chill. Let's go, baby. Woo! 2022.
I got missed under the.
I knew I was fucked.